Thank you to Pam and Vicki and Michael and Richard. Wonderful. Thank you for bringing all that. So help yourself as we go along. I'm going to do a little intro. So my name is Mari Fujikawa. I'm Mia's mom, but I'm also the 12th grade Girl Scout troop leader. And my husband Derek is back there. So he's also an assistant scout master with the Boy Scouts through the Betsuine. Yeah, thank you all for coming, and I just wanted to give a little brief background before Mia talks, but it's been a little bit of a journey, you know, this Gold Award project. So she was approached, I think, last spring to see if she was interested in taking on this project. So she had learned a little bit from Michael Sarah, at that time the board president of JAMS, and also Gina Nishihara here. She's our former troop leader. Yeah, and so she actually connected with Michael Sarah a couple of years ago, right? Over a couple of years ago, because our Girl Scout troop had done a Bronze Award project, and it had to do with landmarks in Japantown. So we were doing like a walking tour, and the girls selected 5 landmarks in Japantown, and they researched them, and they recorded audio, like their voices, for these 5 landmarks, and it was going to be part of this walking tour, which they did that, and then we had a website and all that. But Gina wanted to take it a step further and put QR codes in front of each of these landmarks and then expand it some more. That was a little bit beyond their their Bronze Award project, but we still wanted to explore that down the road. So she had, I think, originally connected with Pam a couple of years ago, if you recall. Reached out, and then Pam referred her to Michael, and then they started talking, and then I became the troop leader at that time. So then I was brought into the conversation, and my co-leader, and then we were trying to find out, well, how much of a project will this turn out to be, like in terms of hours and things like that. So we figured it would be good for a Gold Award project, because a Gold Award project requires at least 80 hours. It turned out more than 80 hours. but it was a great project, and so we were happy that Mia could be involved. So also I wanted to mention Mia's Gold Award coordinator, Barbara Burbach. She came here from, been guiding Mia along with her Gold Award project this whole time, so she made sure that she stayed on track and followed the Girl Scout rules and things like that. And Mia was able to submit her project a few weeks ago, and it got approved, so it's official. So thank you so much. Let's see. Yeah, so I think that's what I wanted to mention. Are you ready to? Okay, Mia will take it from here. Thank you.
So for my Girl Scout project, I had to address a community issue and a root cause. So like my mom mentioned, the community issue and the root cause from my Bronze Award project, modified it a bit, but it's the same idea. So the landmarks, basically the landmarks and the monuments around Japantown, they have obviously historical and cultural significance to the Japanese American community. But these landmarks, like many people don't really know what they are, or like they see it. Some of them are benches. They just see the bench and like, oh, it's a bench. I'll sit down and I'll like spill stuff on it. Get the word out there that there is rich culture, there's rich history in San Jose's Japantown, and so hopefully that like tightens the connection and kind of brings that out to the rest of the people who may not realize that. So first part of my project was getting approved by the Girl Scout Council. So in order to do that, I had to find the community issue and the root cause, which I mentioned before. And then I got in connection with Michael Sarah, my project advisor, and then my troop advisor, Nancy Aochi. And after that, I presented my project to the boards of JCC, SJ, and JAMS. which is the Japantown Community Congress of San Jose and the Japanese American Museum of San Jose. And for JCCSJ, I presented to get their approval because they are the stewards of the landmarks. So I presented to get their approval to place these stickers on the landmarks that have QR codes. And then I also presented to the JAMS board just to get their support and their help for the project. And then lastly, I had to come up with a sustainable solution for my community issue and root cause, and then write up the report to submit to the Girl Scout Council. And luckily that was approved with minimal problems. So for my sustainable solution that I mentioned before, we wanted to capture the description and the historical significance of each landmark. And there were around 38 that I did. And also there were 10 more additional benches that haven't been installed yet with QR codes for them once they will be installed. And then to capture the description and the historical and cultural significance, I utilized the QR translator application. And they actually offered their services to us for free, which we're super grateful for that. And so for each of the landmarks, I created descriptions. So I researched and wrote up descriptions and uploaded them to QR Translator, thanks to one of the JAMS volunteers. And each of the description pages were then transformed into stickers that had QR codes on them, and then we placed them onto the landmarks for people to grab their phones and scan. So my next step from after getting funding was researching and writing the descriptions. So I spent around 25 hours doing that. So I researched online, I researched in person. I met with a few people to help me with research with some of the things that I couldn't find online. And this is actually an interesting picture. I went to the Martin Luther King Library to meet with Ralph Pierce, and he helped me research on one of the landmarks that I was having trouble finding information on. And this is a picture of, I think it was like a fire map of San Jose's Japantown, and we were kind of like looking through each of the fire maps from each year to see like what this one specific building was. So after my descriptions, I started on audio recordings with community members. And so I wanted to go a little deeper and strengthen the connections of San Jose's Japantown. And so similar to my Bronze Award project, I wanted to include audio. In order to find like the community members, I worked closely with Vicky Takeda, and she helped me really reach out and connect to a lot of people. And I ended up meeting with and recording 17 individuals over the summer. So that was really great. I was able to listen to each of their unique stories, and I included some information that they had on the landmark descriptions. So that was really great to meet everybody. And actually, I put up a list of all of the people who recorded audio. So thank you guys all for that. We have Ralph Pierce, Larry Dobashi, Connie Yamio, Warren Hayashi, Roy Hirabayashi, Carol Rast, Jim Nagareta, Barbara Hiera, Richard Kogura, Arlene Denron, Robert Ragsack, Ken Matsumoto, Liam Kimura, Steve Fugita, George Yamaichi, Vicky Takeda, Mark Santo, and Tam Yoshida. So yeah, thank you guys. So the next step after recording audio was installing the stickers. We had ordered the stickers, and I reached out to Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and over the course of a few weeks they helped me put the stickers on the landmarks. So in order to do that, we cleaned the landmarks and then placed the stickers on. For the benches, I created a template where the stickers go so that it would be on the same place each time. So I think we had 2 days where we were installing stickers. And so yeah, they're all up now. Go check them out. For measuring impacts, we're actually able to track the number of visitors on the QR translated description pages. So this information is as of, I think, September 24th. It's a little hard to see, but I think the highest one is the Civil Liberties Monument, which has 166 hits. So that means 166 people took out their phones and scanned the QR code. That's awesome. So yeah. hopefully there's more now since it's been a few weeks since that data came. I just wanted to give a few acknowledgements to the people who have helped me throughout this project. Mainly Michael Sarah. He has been my project advisor. He really supported me and walked me through the process. And I was able to get through this project mostly with like smooth sailing thanks to him. So to our JAMS volunteers, Evan Schreiber, he unfortunately couldn't make it today, but he was the one who handled all the tasks with QR Translator. He uploaded descriptions, uploaded audio, and yeah, they're all up there. And then Sachiko Bloom, she's over here, and she double-checked and edited the Japanese translations of each of the landmark descriptions. So that was really great. And then we also have our JCCSJ volunteers, Vicky Takeda. As I said before, she helped me reach out to community members and find people for audio recordings. And then Pam Yoshida, she helped me with marketing and determining like the sticker placement on each of the landmarks. And then also to my Gold Award coordinator, Barbara Burbach, she also helped me through this process and gave me some advice as I was going through it. So yeah, I just want to say like overall I learned a lot from this project. Obviously there's things like budgeting and time management and all those things. Also learned a lot about myself. As I was meeting with a lot of you guys, a lot of the community members, I really enjoyed like listening to everybody's stories, learning about the history. I found like a new passion for like history when I was doing this project. So it was really great to be able to do this, and I'm really glad that I can kind of expand this community more and make it tighter and give people the opportunity to learn more about it, because like compared to San Francisco and LA, they have like big Japantowns, so people might not see like San Jose as much as they can see them. So I just want to create this opportunity for people to learn more about this community, because it's really great. Any questions or comments?
Are you able to tell what languages are being accessed?
I think you can actually.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. I can ask about that.
And also, I was just wondering, how long do you expect those stickers to last before you have to replace them?
So they're like vinyl weatherproof stickers, so we've stuck them on the benches. We're hoping they last as long as they can, but if they don't, we've printed out a lot of extras. So like for some landmarks that might like, we kind of like put them into folders where we print out 5 times of the landmarks stickers that we think might come off easier than other ones. And then stuff like the benches that have smooth surfaces, we printed out 2 times the stickers. So they have those replacements because they're a little harder to peel off, so we're hoping that they last a little longer. But also we like gave the funds to, or we're giving the rest of the funds to JCCSJ, so if we do need to order more, then they can order as many stickers as they'd like with those funds. So we're hoping that this like stays on there for as long as it can. So yeah.
Great job, right? You know, there's a Japanese proverb. You can have a vision, but if you don't take any action, it's just a daydream. Ooh. And she took action. She leaned in, and then she exploded. She blew it out, really. And can you imagine the ripple effect it's going to have? The ripple that we're going to create, or she created with this project, is immense.
Yeah.
She's our Shohei. And that is the impact that this project has. I hope you guys realize that. Because
I was going to say, when her proposal came in, a lot of Gold Award coordinators fought over it. We knew it was a good one from the start, yeah, but since I was half Japanese, but
you know, the other thing too that is awesome about this is this community, right? Mm-hmm. It's this community that's really what stands out, and it's that collaborative community that we have here. And we're blessed, because I think San Jose is unique in that way. Mm-hmm. I mean, being a part of the museum, being part of the JCCSJ board, we have so many wonderful people here, and all the different organizations that step up and support. and they supported Mia too with this project, right? All of you had something to do with this project. And so that's something that we should all be proud of, because that ripple is going to last. It's going to last for a long time. And now our voices, your voices, have been captured. And so thank you all very much. And Mia, good job.
I want to thank you, Mia, because I witnessed your work, and your work is not just researching. Your work was, I watched you work with all the people you interviewed. You made sure that their ability to read that narrative on the bench made sense to them and fit there. And so I watched you make corrections. So it wasn't somebody came in, did a reading, and they left. You worked with that individual. You got to know that individual. And so I wanted to thank you for that. And I want other people to know that your skill and ability went far beyond just organizing and planning an event. That you used your people skills to make people feel comfortable. You made sure that the information you were receiving and that was written on the bench worked with people like Connie Young Yu here or Manong Ragsak. And so again, I want people to know that it went far beyond research and meeting goals. And then the other part I wanted to thank you for was what you did with the English narratives. We have all these 14 languages that they will be translated, but you had the awareness to not use AI to do the translation for the English. You created a space for the community to come in and use their voices and make connection to the person who's clicking that QR code. You made Japantown come alive. And so thank you for allowing the community of network of organizations and individuals, and you honored JCCSJ, where's Pam? You honored JCC and all of its past members who worked hard to collect this narrative, and individuals from the community like Kurt and Jim here, and Leslie, who early on, Connie, researched to bring this history of our Japantown to be a diverse history of Heinleinville, of Chinatown, of Pinoy Town, of Japantown. So thank you for putting humanity into that narrative, and I don't know how we thank you for that. So thank you so much.
I want to thank you so much for being the fifth generation in being involved with the history of this most diverse, most exciting community, historic community, which I feel was the first AATI community in Santa Clara County. And the fact that we had diverse cultures that were separate and had its own integrity, but there was incredible harmony. Not fusion. We didn't have mixed fusion of cultures, but separate and distinct respect and harmony and going forward to build a better society. But you're the fifth generation, and thank you for
I'd like to say that when I get the Pinoy Town tours, of course we focus on the Filipinos, right? So we pass the benches, as I mentioned before, and we don't read them. But now we have a chance to quickly talk about each one of the benches just by scanning the QR codes. But it's more than that. The benches have text, but following that is commentary by Connie, myself, Kurt, and all the others. More so than was his bench, was on the bench. But what does that add to it is that humanity that you talked about. But also, when you see all benches, we're all integrated, especially all the three minorities. And I'd like to say that what we're doing here and what she's done is really unique. Where else does this happen? And that's the thanks that I'd like to give her and everybody else involved in it, because you created a monster.
A good monster.
So I own Nikkei West newspaper, and we're just starting out. And what we are really encouraged at, and I'm telling you that it's really encouraging to see your generation, you taking charge of something big like that, because it actually encourages other generations. And with the QR code, that's something fun, right? So you get the younger generation to want to do that. So when I stalk Facebook for a lot of content, and I saw yours, and I was really, really excited and actually very proud of what you're doing. But to get you as somebody to feature in the paper, because we really want to, again, focus on your generation, because you're encouraging the next ones, and it's I feel like it's kind of I don't know if there's another word for encouraging, but that's pretty much it. I'm very proud of you, and I think I've been here for how long, and I've never read all the benches and learned all about all this. So I'm really, really excited to go forward, and I think it's an exciting way to learn about Japantown. So I think it's gonna last for a long time. I mean, your legacy is gonna be here for forever. So very proud of you. Thank you so much.
She's an inspiration.
Yes, yeah.
So on behalf of JCCSJ, I want to thank Mia and Mom and Dad, Derek and Monty, because I made them. But for me, the benches are, this project is just so amazing. When Mia first came to us, and she attended board meetings to present the idea with help from Michael too, we just said, what? We're the stewards of the benches. We're very particular with how they look and what they're going to represent. Derek's laughing back there. we did get really involved towards the end as far as the QR code design, and but I do thank Mia for hanging in with us for that and giving us that input. But what's so amazing to me is that the benches have inscriptions. We take the Cub Scouts through to clean the benches, so they read the inscriptions. But our major, monuments on the corner don't have inscriptions, so now they can talk to you because of Mia's QR codes. Because we see a big rock, but we don't know what it is. We see a long bench, but we don't know what that is either. So now Mia's QR codes can talk to us about that. So thank you so much for this wonderful gift to the community and for making Japantown look good. So thank you so much, Mia.
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for helping me out with the project. I think everyone here was involved. I'm probably her target audience. I grew up here in Japantown. I went to PAC 611, Troop 611, everything, and I always walked by the benches and the landmarks, and I didn't know what they were. So it was wonderful to hear everyone's stories. And for most of the recordings, I sat with her and got to hear everyone's stories. So that was really a great experience for me. So just wanted to say thank you to everybody for helping her out.
Thank you. Okay, so the Gold Award process changed a couple of years ago, and they have to submit a formal proposal. It's on the GS Girl Scouts of USA platform, and then it goes through a higher awards manager, and then at that time they may have to revise the proposal. In her case, it was spot on, so there was no revisions needed. And then she has to present to a committee. I'm part of the South Bay team. There's probably 7 or 8 of us. And then one of the Gold Award coordinators takes her project and consolidates the feedback from all the Gold Award coordinators and then steps her through the process. And then ultimately it's the Gold Award coordinator that approves the final report. So we make sure she follows all the processes for the Gold Award for the Girl Scouts of the USA. And that's what she did, and she nailed every single step.
So I read the one on the corner with the guy on the horse carriage, because the corner property is on that one. Because normally now, I said, I'm not worthy of this one. Should get Norm's, but the family was busy. So as a backup, I read that one. And then Connie Young Yu, she read a few, but she felt that a man should, this is her generation now. because she felt that a man should read John Heinlein's quote. So I was honored. So yeah, but we go back in time, and when we did the 125th anniversary, we honored John Heinlein and J.B. Peckham. So those were the two that I read. So I was very honored.
A brief description about community. We're in front of the Wesley Church, and our Ikoinoba stands for community. You know, it's kind of a semicircle, so you have an entrance, and then around it is for people to gather, and when they sit and rest, they can talk to one another, trying to bring people into community and into relationship with one another. And I really think everybody's trying to do with these historical talks is to give everybody a glimpse of what the Japantown community was like, what it is now, and what it can still become.
And I did talk about one of the ikoinobas. Ikoinoba is it's a Japanese term for a kind of a peaceful resting spot. And we tried to create it with there's all 5 of them have different themes, and I'm not sure how many other people were involved, but I kind of gave a history since I was involved in the creation of all this. You know,
I'm sorry.
I was just the history of it. That's
Miya's Gold Award Foundation.
yeah.
Actually has to do with my dad's family. It's at the house where him and his family were born, a midwife, and the bench actually says Yamiichi's out there. So Mari asked me to read about and talk about the bench.
2 years ago, Miya had approached me with a project that they were trying to work on, which was to tag the landmarks, specifically the museum and some of the other monuments and buildings around, and put it on a website. And when she came to me, I thought about it. I says, hey, we have this application called QR Translator, and it's all taken care of in terms of the back-end technology because we're using it already. Would you be interested? And so it went from a relatively small project to a much bigger project where she ended up tagging all the benches and all the monuments throughout our San Jose Japantown with a QR code. And I applaud Miya for taking it as far as she did and really driving this to completion, because now all the landmarks are marked, all the applications are up and running, and so anybody coming into our San Jose Japantown and who sees this QR code can take out their smartphone, zap.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So if you just like scan it.
So you gotta get down here?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.